but salute to Cardi B. You know, me and her real has been cool. But Uzi, not gonna lie, man, he played me the pink tape. The pink tape, I'll give you kind of like, I gotta be honest, I was a little bit lit. So I was definitely a little bit drunk. But I'm gonna give you my first impressions. I'm gonna give you what I believe the wave I believe he's on now. And I'm gonna give you how I felt about the music. Now, this is only my personal opinion off of listening to it one time. But you know, it's obviously contextualized by the fact that me and him, we talked before, we talked after, like he explained songs, like it was a whole fucking vibe. So, obviously my opinion's gonna be varied. Anyway, again, yo, Grant, see, y'all doing too much. Y'all can't have me, like, I know the whole Uzi fan base, which by the way, I'll tell you where all the content is kind of going. We didn't shoot an off the record podcast. I got about like, it feels like about at least like 45 minutes of like vlog footage of us just in the studio toasting a random shit, recapping shit, just talking about random things. And he was mad cool. So I think probably that's what's gonna come out. Maybe that comes out tomorrow, comes out the day after. But really good experience. Really good experience. It was my first time meeting him in person, and you know, he remembered the first time we saw each other too. So he recounted that too. I'm gonna sound like a groupie. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, truth be told, this gonna sound wild to y'all. With the exception of Drake, like I almost forgot how much of a Uzi stan I was until I met Uzi. And that might be a little bit y'all might not understand what I'm saying, because obviously I know you guys are fans of the majority of these people, but like, nigga, I've always been like a super duper huge Uzi fan. So like, for example, like, you know what I mean, even with all due respect, love Lil Durk, always support his music, but me meeting Durk and doing an interview with Durk, like there's no fandom that's taken over. You get what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I love his music, right? Obviously, if I was about to do some shit with Drake, like, come on, it's Drake. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, I meet all these niggas all the time, and I'm just kind of like, all right, let's get an interview in or whatever. You know what I mean? Or we'll just have regular conversation. There was definitely, I won't call it starstruck, but there was definitely a bunch of times I'm like, damn, I'm here with motherfucking Uzi. And I think it's because I loved his music for so long. Like, I was one of the niggas who used to get I used to be begging his manager. I remember he got mad at his manager one time because I think one of his songs had got leaked. I don't think it's because like he sent it to me or whatever the case is. But Uzi used to be getting, remember he had a problem with music getting leaked? I used to be like harassing his manager like, yo, just send me the song. I got to just bump it in my car. So again, Uzi for me is a little bit different than the majority of rappers. If I had to compare musically who I enjoy more than Uzi, it would probably only be Drake. I'm gonna be honest with you. Somebody says, "Are you dumped YB for Uzi?" I never listened to YB's music that obsessively like Uzi. Like nigga, I was listening to Uzi like, nigga, come on now. Like, of course, by the way, I listen to YoungBoy still. His music is amazing. But, you know, it's kind of like, shit, I'm cool with 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine's my friend, but I've never obsessed over his music like I've obsessed over Uzi's music. You know what I mean? Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, I'll give y'all a little bit more on that. We do have a bunch to talk about. By the way, I'm going to drop a video on YouTube. It has Uzi in there speaking a bunch, giving his real life, real world opinion on a bunch of things. I really wish it was more of a podcast. And, you know, the invite is out there to Uzi. You know, shit, I could go to him and we could film it there. Well, I didn't want to be invasive. He invited me to come listen to music. I didn't want to just show up on some, yo, here's the podcast equipment. I'm here to do a podcast. So we kind of just only wanted to vlog me meeting him. And turned out he was super comfortable with the camera. And he was just like, yo, my nigga, like, you could record, like, our whole conversation. So in reality, the majority of the conversation is just us talking about music and like where he's at in his career, and just kind of like really there's some big realizations in there But I think it's dope because the conversation is not me being a journalist or me being a podcaster. It's me being a fan. And even though y'all would probably argue that y'all always see me on fanboy time, I'm actually at the studio with them being a fan to say, do I like this? Do I not? Like, I was fucking bewildered. Like, y'all was trying to tell, I said, Uzi, you do know this whole shit, like this whole thing you created. You're like the epitome and like you're the height of creativity. It ends with you. And I think he was really not upset, but like he was like taken aback by it, but he was just like, no, definitely not. And he's like, you can't say that when look at these guys. And he pointed at Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely. He gave them mad props. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He gave them boys mad props. And that was kind of like a dope move too, because when you hear him talk about those guys, he don't talk about them like they're, oh yeah, they're not like me, or you know what I mean, these are little niggas. Like, he gave them the utmost. So y'all will see some of that. I'll drop it in the vlog. Anyway, I'll give you a little about the pink tape. It's different. And what I mean is different is that if you're going into this thinking, I don't want to give away too much, by the way. I know how many songs it is. Yes, he did have the fucking thing on like something that was on some pearl necklace. I kid you not. He said he was bringing the shit to Eliante to get a diamond out. Yeah, I know how many songs it is, but I don't want to ruin his shit because I don't know if he told y'all how many songs. Did he tell you how many songs it is? I don't know if he told you. Okay. He told y'all? All right, I'm not saying nothing. But anyway, he played me a bunch of tracks, and I'm going to be honest with you. Some of them are flat out fucking amazing, right? I guess maybe I could say this part. He has a song with Travis. That shit's fire, my nigga. Like, y'all probably heard these leaks. I don't even know what y'all hear. Y'all are like super stands, so like y'all probably heard every leak possible. Like, he played this one song with Travis. That shit went crazy, my nigga. You know what I mean? I think he had one with Future too. But he had a bunch of songs that, and again, you know, I'm not sure if he played them all in sequence, but he played some, bruh. He played some shit that was fucking me up. So again, yeah, I don't think I'm saying nothing that's like fucking up his rollout. I don't want to fuck up his rollout too. You know what I mean? Again, he was, you know, he trusted my opinion and he trusted the vibe of knowing that I'm a fan of his musically, that he said, come through and listen to the music. I don't want to go there and be like, let me spill all the fucking secrets. But he got some shit, my nigga. This shit was sounding fire. Now, granted, the reason why I say that, I don't want y'all to be like, you're just a dick rider. Now, granted, me and him were talking in the studio. We taking shots together, all type of shit. Like, I'm completely into the theme of the album. I would say, though, it don't sound like just think about the hot songs on Eternal Take and how you normally envision how Uzi is kind of like doing his Love is Rage shit. It's not necessarily like that. That's all I could say. Does it sound good? Fuck yes. Is it that? No. And that might fuck y'all. Well, man, I don't know. Y'all be like some super stans who be knowing way more than me, so I don't know. Yeah. Yo, listen, I want to give him credit. I could tell he's pushing himself to be experimental. He said one thing that was dope to me, and I hope it's caught on camera, because if it is, you'll see it in the vlog. He said, I said to him, because I was explaining why for a certain era he's like the fucking GOAT. And call it glazing all you want, but shit, I also give niggas their flowers. Pause. So I'm telling this nigga, I'm like, yo, you're kind of like for that type of wave and for that era that came in 2016 on, you're like the future of that group. And I think he actually he took it and he actually said, he compared himself and he said he actually agrees, but he feels he's more thug. And he said he feels he's more thug because, you know what I mean, he's more creative with he said he always looked at Future as like Future's like the guy who makes all these great songs and he's a legend, but Thug is always a guy who's always experimenting with sounds, who's always trying to find the new, and his creativity is probably what is the best thing about him more than his song making ability. And it was kind of interesting that he compared himself to Thug more than Future, which again, I mean, I think some of y'all would probably agree. I think most of us would probably agree, right? Like Uzi, Thug kind of like fit closer together than Uzi and Future, which, you know what I mean? Again, hearing it from his own mouth is kind of like how he breaks down the game. All right. I'll give you kind of a little bit, some tidbits here and there. Again, I'm going to drop a whole vlog. It might be a long ass vlog. And if you guys didn't see, like, I did post a picture on my Instagram. This is me and Uzi. Hey, do y'all not like when I use my filters, man? Like, I be trying to use my filter. Yo, somebody said me and Uzi switch pants. That's facts. Yo, we literally switched pants before the picture, yo. Uzi was like, yo, Ak, you know what fuck him up? Let's switch pants. I said, no. He said, no, let's switch pants, bro. It's all right. Fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, so anyway, that happened. By the way, yo, I got such like, you know, low memory. Somebody asked me afterwards to be like, did Ken Carson say anything to you? And I'm like, why would he say anything to me? Like on any time. They were like, yo, remember one time you were on Twitch and like people were spamming his name and you're like, who the fuck is he? And I'm like, shit, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know who he was. But he was good vibes. He was good vibes. I'm gonna tell you, Ken Carson, to me, he came off very confident. Like, very confident. He knew what the fuck he wanted to do. Like, you could tell, like, there was something kind of exuding from him to be like, yo, nigga, I'm gonna be that one. You get what I mean? Destroy Lonely, super cool dude, but super laid back. You know what I mean? He's the guy who, like, I think would be everybody's friend. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, like, he just gives off good vibes. You could tell that, you know what I mean? Again, it's my first time meeting him, and, like, shit, even when, like, you know, everybody ranking on each other, like, shit, me and him was in agreement a bunch of times. So he was a really cool dude. I kid you not. So, first time meeting both of them was all good. You see? What's that talking about? Somebody said new Dirk tweet aimed at Akademiks. What? What is Dirk saying? By the way, we're gonna get